the one thing that has happened in my country is that because they have encouraged anger, and anyone that has anger has fear because they're asleep, they are taking rights away like 90 going north. We are already on the lockdown and don't even realize it. Americans are under lockdown. We have lost so much freedom that we've forgotten what we used to have. We have forgotten what we used to have. I saw a report where Gavin Newsom, the so-called governor in California, is talking about changing and adding to the Constitution to prevent people from getting this firearms, the Second Amendment, from protecting themselves. I was thinking about we're so on the lockdown that you could buy a home in this country. You can pay it off after 30 years or before. And once you pay it off, you're ready to celebrate, but there's nothing to really celebrate because you still don't own the home, because you have to pay taxes on it. And if you didn't pay taxes on it, they can take it away from you. They are telling you what you can and cannot do with your own child or children. All that. You don't really have it right. You can't speak up now. You can, but you don't. And they see that you don't. And because they see that you don't, it's just giving them more perceived power over you. The world, my country, is in a mess. And all the right people in the wrong places to make sure that my country never returns. And anyone that gets in the way, they're going to try hard to stop you, no matter who it is. Have you noticed that anyone, whether it's a male or female, that becomes strong in this country, that they go after you? Your own family members, your own friends, your own husband, your own wife, your own government will go after you. Stop him, stop him. We want everyone to be weak like we are, be a groupie, identify with. What a mess, huh? Well, I would encourage you to speak up while you can, still can. Either you want to know the truth or see the truth, or you don't. And most people don't. When I hear white people saying, "Well, I'm a racist. I have white privilege. Just my whiteness give me white privilege." You just want to, what's wrong with you? They have believed into a lie. I have guilt. Why you have guilt? For the blacks, but you had nothing to do with it. Nothing at all. But they believe it. Once you believe a lie, it's hard. You got to want to disbelieve that lie to be free, and most people don't. They love their misery. They love the lie. Most of the blacks love the lie that racism is. They love it. It gives them a reason to be violent, to blame, to feel like victims. And then it gives the ones who have convinced them that that racism exists, it gives them the opportunity to use the blacks for their own personal gain. What a sad way to live. When I look at the world, it fills me with sorrow. Children today gonna suffer tomorrow. Oh, what a shame. Such a sad way to live. You could be free or you could be enslaved. But you must be willing, if you want to be free, to stand alone. You must be willing to overcome anger. You must be willing to overcome anger in order to overcome fear. And it's going to get worse in my country before it gets better. Think about it. They have convinced women, and not all but most, that it's okay to kill the man's child in the womb. That's your body, your choice. Even though the child was put there by God. The woman didn't put it there. She had nothing to do with it but lay down and let the man put the baby in her, and she just carrying it around, and the baby is developing on its own in the womb because of God. But the woman had been convinced that her body, her choice, so she can kill the child, the man's child in the womb. And she does it, and then she justifies it. My body, my choice. Because somebody told her that. She has believed into a lie. And then they go around fighting on that belief. Be careful what you believe. Be careful what you hear.
My greatest fear is going to hell and not going to heaven.
And why is that your greatest fear?
Because I don't want to go to hell.
Why not?
Because I want to go to heaven.
And why do you want to go to heaven?
Because I don't want to go to hell. I don't want to go to hellfire. So.
And what's the difference between hell and heaven?
In heaven, you get to be with Jesus and God, and in hell, you go to be with Satan.
Why?
And his devils, I guess.
And so, why are you thinking about dying, being afraid of dying instead of just living now and not think about dying?
So I am thinking about living now, but I'm thinking about how to live my life in order to not go to hell, right? So I'm constantly thinking about what I'm doing and how I'm taking decisions and how that affects my afterlife. Okay.
Amazing. And why think about those things? Why not just live without thinking?
Because if I don't think about it, if I don't think about my decisions and my actions, then maybe I can make the wrong decisions that will lead me to hell, I guess. So that's why I keep...
But the thinking about it is what's causing you to never be able to do right or be right. Have you noticed you're living in hell with fear and anger?
Yes.
So you're already in hell. And the reason you're already in hell because you're living in your imagination. You believe thoughts and you believe anger. You won't let that go. So you're already living in hell. And the way your life is now, if you die that way, it's just going to be forever and ever. There's no way out. Now you can overcome hell while you're living. And if you overcome hell while you're living, there's no such thing as dying.
Yeah, is it possible for Christians or people who are awakened to have different understandings of the Bible or Jesus?
No, if you are truly awake, meaning that if you can truly see and not intellectual stuff, but if you can truly see, you and the next person that can truly see going to have the same understanding. It's going to be the same because it's coming directly from God and not from the imagination, not from the ego. The Christians who are into the Bible and going to church and believing in holy water and Mother Mary and all that stuff, they can't see. They're intellectually learning, but spiritually they cannot see. And you will never be able to convince them that they're wrong. And so what you should do is, number one, never, ever, ever, never, ever, 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 ever try to convince anyone of anything. You speak your piece. Either they see it or they don't, and then you go your way. But you can't make, even God cannot make people truly wake up. He can't make them see. I mean, he could do it. He's God if he wanted to, but he's not going to do that because he wants you to want to see in order to return to him. He doesn't want you to come by force, but by choice. And so those people, they don't see. And if they saw, they wouldn't be angry at you. They wouldn't turn their back on you because they would know, they would see and understand. So they don't see. They just know the Bible. They know about so-called holy water and all that. That's not working for them either because they have no love. They only have judgment, and they call that love, right? They think they're better than you. So you're blessed that you are alone now. And that's what Christ came to divide. He is dividing you from the evil people, even your own blood family members, your mama, your daddy, your brothers, your sister. So you're blessed that you are alone. Now you're going to focus on what is right within yourself, and it's going to be amazing. So just wish them well. Your prayer is that, I wish you well. And don't be angry at them. They literally cannot see. That's why they have rejected the truth that's in you. The devil and them have joined forces together to go against you, but you'll be fine. Because if they could see, they would be of love and not of hate. They would not reject you. It's time to stand up, but you're not going to be able to do it in fear. You're never going to be able to do it with hate, with anger. Love is the answer, not hate, not anger. John 8:42, all right? Jesus said to them, if God were your father, you would love me. Ooh. I rest my case just right there. If God were your father, you would love me. For I proceeded forth and came from God. Oh, but the people think, there are Christians who think Jesus is God. He just said I came from God. What the? But anyway, for I proceeded forth and came from God, nor have I come of myself, but he sent me. He sent me. I ain't sent me. He sent me. If I were God, I would have sent me. But anyway, for I proceeded forth and came from God, nor have I come of myself, but he sent me. Why do you not understand my speech? Why do you not understand my speech? Because you are not able to listen to my word. Why do you not understand my speech? Because you are not able to listen to my word. You are of your father, the devil. Uh-huh. You are of your father, the devil. And, you're of your father, the devil, and the desires of your father you want to do. And the desires of your father you want to do. You're of your father, the devil, and you want to do his desires. Isn't that amazing? And the desires of your father you want to do. He was a murderer from the beginning and does not stand in the truth. He was a murderer from the beginning and does not stand in the truth because there is no truth in him. When he speaks a lie, he speaks from his own resources, for he is a liar and the father of it. But because I tell you the truth, you do not believe me. Which of you convict me of sin? Which of you convicts me of sin? And if I tell you the truth, why do you not believe me? He who is of God hears God's words. Therefore, you do not hear because you are not of God. You're of your father, the devil. I'm putting that part in the bottom there. You're of your father, the devil. CC, from Georgia, that's deep. CC, you're fine. Just forgive your parents, and you would never think about dying again. You would not be afraid of that. That's deep, CC. You're going to be fine. And CC talked about, she was the first caller there in the first hour, and she talked about how now that she can see that her parents, her family are turning against her. Her blood family are turning against her. And she's alone. But see, the same identical thing happened to Christ. His family, in his hometown, he had to leave because they turned against him. He was able to see. And not because he's imposing the truth on them. He didn't try to make them believe it. He just spoke the truth. And he became alone. He had to leave. And so you're on the right track. You're blessed that others are turning against you. Because if they had love, if they were not of their father the devil, it would be impossible to turn against anyone. So they'll blame you for their own action. Oh, I'm turning against him because she's this and she's that. When it's them, they have no love. They're of their father the devil. That's so deep, CC from Georgia. Thank you.
I have this neighbor, and for 60 years, his father died when he was very young. He was a child when he died. For 60 years, he was living with his mother. And he was a neighbor of mine. And him and his mother, because I've known them all my life, they were always angry, all the time. And around Christmas last year, because he always talks bad things about her, and she always talks bad things about him. Around Christmas last year, I met him at a local store, and I told him about you. He doesn't speak English, but he understands it. And I haven't seen him in about a month. I actually thought he died. I saw him a few hours ago. I said, what happened? Where have you been? He told me that he forgave his mother, and he moved away. He doesn't live in this neighborhood anymore, and he's having the time of his life. No, I've never seen him like that. There was no anger in his eye. The way he walked was different. The way he talked, the way he carried himself was nothing like the man I knew. He told me that for 34 years, he wanted to visit Madrid. And for 34 years, his mother stopped him because she was always like, now it's not the time, we need the money for something else, this and that. For the last month, he visited Madrid twice, once for shopping and once to see a cathedral, to see the architecture. And he really like goes without hate. I don't even know if I'm making sense what I'm explaining. He walked like he was the only man on the planet. Like there was nothing else around him.
Yeah.
And he didn't even look like he was before. And it's remarkable to see it, and absolutely joyful to see something like that happening. And to be honest, because I'm listening to your program as often as I can. Your program starts at 4 p.m. here, so we're able to listen it by the end of the business day. And for the people that are living with their parents, that you don't really save money like that, because if you live with other people, you double the income, but you double the outcome as well. And now he rented a small apartment for himself. He found a job at the other side of the town. His mother doesn't know where she works, nor where she lives.
Nice.
And he said, I'm just here to pick up a few other stuff, old books or something like that. And I said, well, I'm glad to see you again. See you soon. And he was like, no.
Nice.
Amazing. He vanished. Absolutely amazing. At the age of 60. And it's better late than never.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to share this story, because it shows how absolutely 100% right you are on everything that you're talking, because it's literally a spirit. And once you forgive and once you overcome, nothing else matters.
Really?
And it's just the perfect thing to see. And I guess I would like to thank you on his behalf.
Right
because
on.
This is absolutely perfect.
That is an amazing story, man, and it totally makes sense. And that's why when people truly forgive, not intellectually, but truly forgive in the heart, they become free. They become of love. Fear will disappear, and they will have a life. It's so amazing.
Yeah, that's the word I was looking for. He was absolutely free. At the age of 60, but better late than never.
That's right.
And I know how busy you are. With that said, Mr. Peterson, thank you for your work. Kind regards to your colleagues and audience, and God be with you, sir.
You too, man. That was an amazing testimony. I totally appreciate it. Thank you. Amazing. I can hear the angels singing right now in heaven. One soul has been saved. One soul have returned to the Father. You don't have to be miserable, folks, but you got to be of love. You got to be of love.
And ask. Jinx.
I'm gonna wait till the midnight hour. That's when my love come tumbling down. I'm gonna wait till the midnight hour when there's no one else around. Hey, Dee Dee.
Amazing radio educator of sound doctrine. Well-tempered clavier. Your radio persona is the prelude and fugue of each coming day. Your voice is the music, the melody, the medley of each day. Who is the preferred champion of capitalist heaven in the Republican presidential candidate primary?
The one and the only.
DeSantis or Trump?
The one and the only, the great white hope, Donald Trump.
He is the king of beasts. However, Ron DeSantis has the eye of the tiger.
Do you believe in aliens? Like those flying sauce aliens. Those things that, what do you call those?
Flying saucer.
No, the aliens. Are they called what?
Martians.
Yeah. You believe in those?
I mean, I used to have a joke when I was little. I used to say, of course I believe in aliens. My dad was one for 8 years.
But do you believe that people say they see flying saucer, they see people from another part of the heavens, I guess?
I'm going to go with no.
You don't believe that?
Nah.
Oh. Interesting. I at one time didn't believe it, but now I don't know. It's something, and it seemed to be evil going on. I don't know what it is. But apparently there are aliens out there, but something going on. I don't know what it is, but something is happening. Hate says, so that 90s TV show, X-Files, is real. What the? I don't know. This is from the New York Post concerning aliens. Body cam footage from Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department captured a suspected UFO soaring across the sky before a nearby resident called in a report of something 100% not human on their property. Watch this from CBS.
As you know, this is not our first UFO rodeo. We first heard about the incident in early May via the Metro Police grapevine. The incident has a lot in common with other bizarre cases from around the world: an alleged crash, strange beings, and bits and pieces that don't make sense.
Just before midnight on April 30th, skywatchers across several western states saw a bright fireball streak through the heavens. A police officer working in the Northwest Valley caught a glimpse of the colorful object on his body cam. At nearly the same time, a Ring camera in the area recorded a strange noise and what sounds like a crash. Two brothers and their father were working on a vehicle in their yard when they caught a glimpse of a sparkly object as it came crashing down, then were hit by what they describe as a shock wave. What they saw next prompted a frantic call to 911.
So there's two people or two subjects that are in your backyard?
Correct, and they're very large. They're like 8 foot, 9 feet, 10 foot. I don't know. They look like aliens to us. Big eyes. They have big eyes. Like I can't explain it. And big mouth. They're shiny eyes and they're not human. They're 100% they're not human.
These are some of the claims they've made in other public forums. Angel says they heard the patter of multiple feet in the yard. They later heard footsteps on their roof. They saw one of the 8-foot-tall creatures climb behind the controls of a large front loader stored in the yard. He got a good look at one of the creatures, he said, a greenish-grayish being with large eyes and long legs. He says he could hear its deep breaths, and when he locked eyes, he was, in essence, frozen in place, couldn't move. In the middle of the yard, where the object had crashed, then vanished, a circular impression was left in the soil. The family says they also saw men in suits and sunglasses driving in a car with government plates cruising slowly past the house in the following days.
Amazing. I know a lady that for years she was telling me that she lived out in the desert, in California, in the desert there. And she was telling me for years that she would see these spaceship things too, like out there in the desert. So something going on. I don't know what, but something going on, right? And too many people are seeing something go on. And everybody can't be crazy. What the? Well, everybody can be crazy, but something's happening.
But I was in a very low place, and I looked into a lot of your religious teachings, and out of everyone on there, your message of forgiving the mother and returning the father really spoke to me. And it was truly amazing. And since then, I mean, it was a bit of a slow start, but I had apologized and did everything that you had suggested. And my life is now truly amazing. And I was probably one of the worst ones out there. I was so angry. I was a war veteran. My plan was not working out, and I was mad at everybody.
Yeah.
And ever since I truly started forgiving, it's like it was, just like you said, it was lifted from me.
Yeah.
And it even made it hard to go work out, because I used to be big into metal and lifting weights, and I still like lifting weights, but brother, it's a feeling of peace that I cannot describe. I mean, I'm sleeping better. I haven't felt this way in, I think, ever.
That's amazing, man.
Yeah.
I can hear the angels in heaven singing right now. They're having a hoot nanny of a time. Another soul has been saved. What is your greatest fear?
I have a fear of like sickness, getting some sort of infection or like disease and dying. And I've had infections.
You scared of dying.
I've had infections like in the past, that I've had to take antibiotics for, and I guess I'm still afraid that that's going to happen again.
Really?
I'm also not a big fan of spiders or bugs or. I know that's like absolutely the most beta thing I can possibly say, but like spiders, bugs, I will freak out. Nick had a small little bug on his desk this morning. If that happened to me, I would have freaked out.
Really?
Yeah.
What a beta.
Yeah.
I'm out here taking care of the bugs for everybody, apparently.
So those are your greatest fear.
Yeah.
What?
Besides that, I'm fearless.
Yeah, right.
Just death and bugs.
Oh, what's your greatest fear, Anchor Baby?
I have to say, I'm not entirely sure. Okay, no. I think I know my greatest fear, but I have a problem here because I've added the intellect here because I heard someone else say what I believe is my greatest fear at church last Sunday. And that was my answer too. And my answer was to be exposed, to be seen as nothing, because I see myself trying to be something, like on my show or talking to someone. And I know that comes from a fear of being seen as nothing or not that cool or not that great.
Interesting.
And so I agree. Someone said that answer at church last Sunday, and that was my answer. And you told them, no, but that's a brother to the greatest fear. So now I'm like, intellectual about it. I'm like, so like big brother, little brother, what are we talking here? Like, give me a hint. And, but that's my answer. Like, I think that's my greatest fear.
Interesting. Hassan, the talented Hassan with the dog. What is your greatest fear?
I had an intellectual answer as well. Like, I wanted to sound cool and be like, my greatest fear is fear itself, or fearing fear.
Oh, Lord.
But if I'm being honest,
yeah,
it's letting the ego die. I'm realizing how afraid I am to be free.
Amazing.
I'm like afraid of it. It's crazy. Like, I'm afraid of just completely letting it die. Because it sounds good to say when things are going smooth or still there.
Right.
But when you start to go through it and you start to lose certain things and it starts to die off, it's a different story.
Amazing.
So.
Okay. Yeah. Interesting. One quick other question I just thought of, then I got to let you guys go because of time here. Do you believe in aliens? You know how the government now, they are saying that the government have a bunch of flying aliens.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah,
I really don't put too much thought into it.
Yeah.
If I found out tomorrow that it was completely legitimate, and yes, they were among us, and they found these creatures that weren't human, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised.
You believe aliens exist?
I don't know. I really don't know. I find it hard to believe. A little hard to believe. All this science and stuff pointing out into the sky and nobody can find a single thing. But I get it's big or whatever. But they say non-human origins. These ships
Right.
they found non-human. What we don't know the nature. That could be demon. That could be. We don't know. So I don't know. I have to leave it as an I don't know.
Something going on, but I don't know what it is. Or that they totally making up lies.
Yep.
And that could be possible too.
I think I heard a Christian apologist say once, if we met aliens, I would ask them, are they fallen as well?
Interesting.
Interesting.
Hassan, you answered this a little bit already. You believe aliens exist?
I think I'm on the Christian stance of that they can't exist.
Oh, okay.
The same with dinosaurs.
What does that mean, Christian stance?
I don't know. I think that there's a Christian perspective that, that we're the only, human life form,
But
God breathed on us.
But the Christians also believe Jesus is God.
Well, that's true, but I'm rolling with the dinosaur, the dinosaurs never existed theory.
Young Earth.
And, yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, and there's aliens.
Amazing.
Yeah, I'm leaning more towards a psyop with the whole aliens thing. An excuse to lock us down and pretend like there's an invasion.
Yeah.
Just so the.
Yeah, that's what Jay was just saying.
Right.
The lady.
Project Blue
Anytime
Beam.
you get rewarded on YouTube for talking about something too much, it's a psyop.
Well, thank you guys. I appreciate it. My experts, folks.
No thoughts are not that they're not real, but they're not from the divinity of us. They're from the devil.
All thoughts are all lies. Yes.
All thoughts are lies. So, but what I'm finding is in these times, I've always been drawn to a spiritual path. I've always, studied different, meditation and stuff like that. But of the last couple of years, I have withdrawn from most of my friends in life, mostly because I saw that they were going, the racist. I'm black, by the way.
You black?
I'm black. But I had education, so people can't tell.
Right. You sound white.
I know, right? You sound white. You speak so well. If I had a dime for every black person that said that growing up, I'd have some money. But the thing is that this anger, this feeling of losing all my friends, this feeling of it feels like there's no place to run. I used to enjoy many things in life that I had to fall back on. Like, for instance, if I was feeling down, I could go to a bookstore. They don't exist anymore. If I was feeling down, I could go to a movie, but I can't find a good movie without all this craziness in it, without killing and murder and homosexuality and I don't know. I became I began to see the morality of it all, and I stopped many of my own behaviors. But now, what I find is difficult is this feeling of anger.
right?
Yeah.
You know, people in the family, your friends, everybody, they're like they're under a spell. And I find it, you know, the Christian thing of trying to help people or trying to awaken them. I don't want to awaken them. I want to punch them in the face. I mean, I want that to awaken them. You know what I mean? I have that warrior mentality. I don't know whether it's remembrance of past lives. You just kind of want to go in, kill all the bad people, and then start over. Right? It's like I don't know how to look at somebody. I go in there. I caretake for my mom. She's not well. She's not doing well, but she watches many of these shows, and as I take her in her food or something, she'll be watching, you know, maybe, you know, The View or something, and I look at Whoopi Goldberg, and I don't have no, I can't find any understanding with people like that. And But you said something interesting today, or not today, but I was listening, and you were saying we all fall into this place, so everybody here is equal. But I find it very difficult to believe that some of these people's views are allowed. It's almost as if part of me is angry at God or something. Why do you allow all of this craziness to go on? And it's so consistent. The good never seems to win. And I realize I want to win. Right? I was realizing the other day, I was watching something on biblical old movie, you know, and you like Ten Commandments or something like that.
Yeah.
And he wins. You know, he takes the tablets and he throws it at him, blows them all up in hell. And you go there. That ends that, right? Right? The question was, in a day-to-day basis, when you work through this, you mentioned things about the thoughts. Sometimes I find it hard. How do you put it together moment by moment? These thoughts come to you. You have this feeling, you're looking at somebody, you know it's not right. Do you just deny that thought? So I just kind of want you to walk me through that a little bit.
First of all, you got to overcome thoughts. And the way you overcome thoughts is overcome anger. And the way you overcome anger, you must realize you're wrong for having this resentment because it is evil. It's playing God as judgment. And then you go and forgive your mother for turning you away from the Father and for your father for not being there. And God will take away the spirit of anger from your heart and replace it with his love. And then he will destroy the spirit of the imagination, which is of the devil. Because all those thoughts and feelings that you're having is strictly of the devil. They're abnormal nature that made a home in you. But when you forgive, you're going to return to your normal nature, which is of God. And so when you do hear people like Whoopi Goldberg and all this craziness going on, you will see that it's not them, but the same devil that had a hold of your imagination, emotion, has a hold of them, and they cannot help it. And you won't agree with it, but you will not be able to judge. Then you would not feel like you're losing in life, but you're conquering. You will conquer the world when you conquer that. But you got to let the anger go. Have you forgiven your mother yet?
I felt like I have, you know, like in my heart, one of the benefits of moving back and taking care of her is all the stuff that I didn't see when I was younger, I can see clearly now.
But have you told her?
No, but I haven't. That was my next question. I heard a little bit on one of the shows.
Yeah.
But you had it was almost like a formula you had for actually saying, she's in the room right now. I can go do it right now, but I don't know exactly where to start.
Mother, I'm sorry for resenting you for what you did. I realize now you can't help it. Because the way you feel about wanting to smack people because they can't see, that spirit is anger that came from her. When you resented her as a kid, you became like her. And that's why she has been able to control you, because whenever you resent someone, they take control of your life. They control you. And so forgive her for that, and God will forgive you. Don't ask for forgiveness. You forgive her, and God will forgive you. You'll be fine.
Okay. Thank you, brother.
And if she accepts it, fine. If she doesn't, fine. That's on her. God will forgive you, and he'll just leave her in her hell until she is ready to repent for anger as well.